Hey, what's up, guys? Back again with a late update, but figured I'd give you guys an update on what's going on so far. I got a new phone, so I'm getting used to this, actually how it records and everything, but it should be better quality. I know it's a better megapixel camera. I think it's like up by 3.5. My hands are a little shaky because I was doing some work. I started gathering some turbo parts. I grabbed these are the 750cc injectors, if that'll focus, but it probably won't. But yeah, 750cc injectors. I got a no, not thermostat, a fuel pressure regulator with the gauge and everything. I have a fuel rail on the way. Um, what else? The whole turbo kit's actually on the way. Should be here early March. These are just a few things that I grabbed. I had to run to Harbor Freight, little tools for port and polish work I'm going to be doing soon, and some body work because I do have some body work to do. So just to grab a few things. Oh, this was what I wanted to show you guys. This is actually the Momo steering wheel that came on the other kit. I mean the other car with the NRG Innovations quick release hub and everything. So where I am with the car currently is I was having some issues. I think it's with the thermostat. The gauge stays at hot even though the car literally, as soon as I turn the key to the on position, the gauge goes right to extremely hot. And my top thermostat tube, that one always gets hot, but nothing happens with the bottom. Some people say it's normal. I I just don't think coolant is flowing through the motor. I think the thermostat was stuck closed. So like from what I understand, the coolant comes, it's supposed to come up and around or out of the head, out of the bottom. However it works, I don't think it's flowing correctly because after running, it should the hoses should be similar temps. I hear the bottom one's supposed to be cooler because that's the cool coolant flowing back or whatever the case is. But my top one gets extremely hot and the bottom one will be ice cold. So I just think it's not opening up and circulating properly. I do have up there, I'm not sure if you can see it, but I have the half radiator set up for when I do run the turbo just because like the full radiator setup is fine. I've seen turbo systems ran on these cars like that, but I just feel if the turbo's there and it's extremely hot and it's, kind of close to the radiator, it might just be adding additional heat to the cooling system, which I want to stay away from. So I'm just gonna get a new thermostat. This was the one that just came out. I got coolant everywhere, as you can see. I didn't put well, I had the bucket to put under there, the little tray, but when you have a slammed car, sometimes you think it's higher than it is, and it's not. So I went to slide that under there, and it wouldn't go under. So whatever, it's just coolant. I actually picked up another jug under there, as you can see. So yeah, so I did tell you guys a ways back that I was gonna probably turbocharge the car. I'm definitely gonna turbocharge it. I'm still waiting for the registration paperwork to come back with the plates. If that doesn't work, as you guys seen in the previous video, I do have another DA9 Integra. It's a 91, and I have the title for that. So worst case scenario, I'll be swapping the motor from this into that. Not a big deal. It didn't take long, but I did come to I went out and purchased the that right there is actually a chip kit. And I'm not sure if I showed you guys in the last video that I did like a jumper, not the last video, like way on in the beginning. I did a jumper loop on the ECU and I had to remove one of the resistors, 17 and 18 or whatever, and then you run a loop. And I did that, and for some reason I just wasn't paying attention. I think my head was just clogged with a bunch of thoughts on getting the car running and everything. But come to find out, the ECU is chipped. So it has a full chip kit in it. I'm going to be tuning on Chrome I know everyone says do the S300. I had the S300 in the cart and it was about 600 bucks. So, I mean, 600 bucks opposed to 75 just for the programmer slash burner from I think it's Moats. I'd rather go with that for now. It's from what I've seen, I've spoke to tuners and some of them use Chrome and they, have a lot of faith in it. Some say S300 because they say it's easier, but as you guys can see, like with this car, I don't always take the easy route. Like, I've been, fine tuning and adjusting little things with the motor, with the suspension. Like, I think I'd rather take the more thorough route. So, yes, the S300 is probably the easier option to just plug and play and tune right from your computer. But I also want to get the ins and outs of tuning and see what's actually going on. And I don't like I have the money for it, but I'd rather save the like 400 or 500 bucks that I saved because in saving it, like I wouldn't have bought the turbo as fast as I did. The total outcome was about 1,300 for the S300 for the wideband sensor with the gauge and the same turbo kit. It came to like 1,300, probably close to 14 after tax. Just taking the S300 off, I only paid 855, and that's with the turbo, the data logger, or the programmer burner for the chip, and it comes with four EPROMs, which are the chips that you actually program. And I was able to get the wideband sensor. And on top of that, I got 755 injectors that don't need a resistor box. I got the fuel rail high flow fuel filter, the fuel pressure regulator with a gauge. So I think I made out all right. I spent like a little over 900 instead of like, damn near close to 15 with everything. So, and I was able to grab some tools from Harbor Freight and, I'm going to be keeping it a LS. I'm not going to do the VTEC conversion. I was going to until, I seen that video from PFI Speed, Brent, when he was tuning another DA Integra LS, no VTEC, pushing, it was like 710 horsepower, which is way beyond my goals. I'm just doing a realistic goal of, I want to run like maybe 8 to 10 psi tops and just add like 100 horsepower to what these already produce, which is 140. I'm just hoping to get 240, 250. And I mean, I believe I can push it to 250, but not 250 to 300. But for right now, I just want a little 250 horsepower daily driver car. And, I'll go up in boost as I go up in performance because, I don't want anything being maximized in the car. That's why I went with the 750 injectors because I see people with 300 horsepower cars with 440 cc's that are like, almost maxed out. I don't want my duty cycle on anything being maxed out. I want to have enough room to play. And I'm already building my cart for the built motor, H-beam scat rods, nipping pistons. I might go race bearings or I might do the OEM. It depends on what I'm going to get out of it after. But I want to enjoy it a little bit. I still going through my process with the DMV. Still got to do the road course and all this other stuff. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. I did put the new axles in and I took it for a test drive. The car, I don't know. I think the car was raced or something, but there was definitely damage done to the front end. Nothing that I couldn't like adjust. I just had to adjust the tie rods on the right and left side. The car was pulling, so I straightened out the steering wheel. I adjusted it not to be pin straight, but slightly, ever so slightly towed inward, just in case if if everything settles and it still wants to pull right. I adjusted it so that you probably can't even see it on camera. It just has the slightest pull inward. So at least, it'll still go straight. I don't, if it's out at all, it just, I don't know. It's like hectic. It'll pull. I fixed the rim with the aluminum brazing rod. That worked out well. There's no crack, no air getting through. Button it up with a little JB Weld spread, just in case. I know people are gonna say, "Oh no, you got to get it welded and all that." Whatever you say, I do what works. It works for me. So you do what you do. But I did find out that those are Rota wheels, like 16 by 7, I believe. which are pretty good wheels from my understanding. The tires are brand new Bridgestones, like still have the little nipples on it and everything. So, but yeah, so I'm gonna get the car running good. I am gonna wait until everything is on the road and I, test drive everything and test drive it fully because I did take it up and down the street. I didn't really get any good video of it, so I didn't want to put that in the video. The exhaust, like I said, sounds horrible above like 3,000 RPMs. It's a $100 eBay exhaust. Not that I'm knocking it. It works. It gets the job done. But I do under there have another exhaust. I believe it's a Greddy SP2, but I have to clean it up and actually see if there's any codes to see what it is. It's a bigger exhaust. I think it's a 2.5 inch, which is definitely better than the 2.25 for the turbo system. But I'll probably my photo for this video might just be the actual purchase of the turbo and the equipment or whatever. And but that won't be coming for a little bit, like, until everything's good with the paperwork, at least until I have it like, registered and shit like that. Because to turbo a car and just have it sitting there, it's gonna be tempting. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, sorry that this video is like, late and just kind of quick, and I'm not really going into too much depth about everything. But like I said before, I do have a lot more content coming. I have another build with a friend. He's doing an EK. He's thinking about turboing his car or swapping out to an H series. So we'll figure all that out down the line. But yeah, so I think I'll end it here. I'm gonna order a new thermostat and probably two sensors for the temp gauge and the sending unit, and just see if that changes everything. I think that's gonna be the fix to the system because it idles fine and then it gets warmed up and it starts like fluctuating with the idle and stuff like that. And I already cleaned the IAC, I cleaned the throttle body. I actually completely redid the what is it, the crankcase ventilation system. I did that because it wasn't done properly. It was, you started the car, you could literally tell that the evap wasn't hooked up from just having it running here. Like, I don't know, we'll go over that in another video, but that's all buttoned up. The car was running a lot better. It still is, but once it gets to operating temp, I think because it's stuck closed and not letting the coolant run through, that's why the idle starts to fluctuate. I think there was maybe an air pocket there that just wasn't being able to be released and bled out. So, and for it to actually be bled correctly, I believe the thermostat has to open up, because once it opens up, then you get the full volume of the engine filled with this coolant, and that's how you bleed the air out. But if it's not opening and there's a tube shut, there's air that could be stuck in there that you can't even access. So, but in the next video, I should have the new thermostat, or I probably won't. It takes a little while, and I want to get another update in so I could explain things in depth, show you the new car fully, show you what it has, because it does have some goodies. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it has some good suspension. It has some LCAs that are pretty nice. A couple of goodies interior wise. I already showed you the Momo steering wheel setup, but I will go into depth with that car and show you what's going to be done, and if I have to swap this motor into it, the future plans for that. But as always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Any comments, leave it in the description. If you want to see this turbo build come together and actually perform on the street, click that subscribe button and the little bell. Stay notified when I have an update, and I'll see you guys later.